So I've got my Arctic hat on. Just the grounds is 125.9. Being in the white hat versus my black hat. She's testing the temperature of the horse poop. Let's keep hiking, a little nugget. 92.8. 114. So I would have been better walking back to the car without this hat on. Hey y'all, I am Christina Louise and I'm back with another TV stuff review. If you like this review and you want to see more reviews from us, be sure to subscribe to the channel TV Stuff Reviews and click the little bell in the corner. That way you'll get notified each time we post a new video. Now today I'm going to be reviewing, I've got them all kind of bundled up here. I'm going to be reviewing the Arctic Hat. So I have a wide brimmed hat, kind of like a fishing style hat. And then I also have a ball cap here as well. We're going to be trying both of them out. I'm just going to put these two down for a second. So I apologize, I do not have the packaging anymore, but it just had a cardboard cutout right here over half of the brim that just pointed out the features and its purpose. So on the top you have a reflective, and actually even around the brim, reflective material, which is going to keep those UV rays away from you. On the side here, it's even a little mesh fabric right there, so it's breathable, allowing the wind and the breeze to go in and out. It's adjustable on the back. You have the string there underneath your neck. You do have the wide brim, so it's not only covering your face and your chest and your head and all that, but you're also keeping the back of your neck covered as well. And then on the inside, and this is its whole purpose, it claims to keep you 20 degrees cooler with this. So this little liner in here is like a cooling fabric. So you get it wet, you put it on, you go out, and it's supposed to keep your head 20 degrees colder than the outside temperature. So we're gonna test this wide brim hat. It's not really my style, but we're gonna definitely take it out. I have a mirror right over there, so just gonna put this on. I feel kind of like Indiana Jones. So we'll put this on. We're actually gonna get ready. We're gonna head out on a little hike here. So we're just gonna take this, and we're also gonna take that ball cap. I'll wear one, my little girl can wear the other one, just so we can kind of try them out, see how they are. We'll probably even take regular ball caps out too, just to compare the difference. We'll hike out with these, we'll hike back with this. And the way that we're gonna know the difference in temperature and if it's really working is we have an infrared thermometer. Sorry, we have an infrared thermometer. So we're just gonna shoot this at our heads before we even start. We'll shoot it at our heads once we have the caps on, and then we'll do it at the end with the normal hats on as well, just so then we can see all the different stages and what the temperatures were on our heads. We'll even probably just shoot it at the ground just to see what the outside temperature is like as well, just to get a feel for how cool, or how much cooler, I guess I should say, the hat really keeps you. So here we have just the regular ball cap. Again, you still have that reflective material in there to keep those rays away from you. You still have a little bit of that mesh fabric on the top as well, so it's still breathable. And then again on the inside you have that cooling liner, and then on the back it is adjustable. It seems a little dinky. It's stretchy, and then you just have a little plastic clasp right there, but it is adjustable. And then both of them, of course, say Arctic Hat on the front. So like I said, we're gonna take both of these hats out. I'll wear one, she'll wear the other. We're gonna take regular hats. Now that I'm standing here like saying it out loud, we're gonna take a light colored hat, like a white hat or a gray hat, and then we'll take a dark hat. I'll take a black hat of mine, just to see, is it the color? Is it all these little features? Is it the fact that this is gonna be wet? Just so we can really see. But it claims that it's gonna be a 20-degree difference. So like I said, we're gonna go out for a hike, we're gonna try it out. I do live here in Arizona. I believe it's about 90 degrees out there right now. So we're definitely gonna be able to put these to the test for sure. So definitely stay tuned. I'm so excited for you guys to come along for this. It's gonna be fun. so we're out here in the desert here in Arizona by the river. We're just gonna go for a quick little hike and we're gonna try out our hats. So my little girl has her hat right here. We're just gonna pour some water in there on that little mesh liner just to wet it. That's how it stays cool while we're out hiking. She'll just kind of move it around, make sure everything gets wet. And then now I'm gonna shoot her head with this right now before we get started. 92.8. And if I just shoot it at the ground, never mind the horse poop or the bug that is now on the thermometer, we'll let that zero out again. Maybe it won't zero out. There we go. I'm just going to shoot it at the ground. Just the ground says 125.9 and her head said what, 94? Okay, so we're going to go, like I said, we're just going to hike around for a little bit, try out these hats, see how we feel, and check the temperature as we go. Alright, so we're out here. I've got my Arctic hat on. I already wet mine, so we're ready to go hiking. I'm just going to check the temperature before we get started. Before we get started, I'm at 72.6, but I have had this hat on now for about 5 minutes. She was 94, so that's probably more accurate. So we're going to get started hiking, just a short little hike, maybe 10-20 minutes, and we'll be sure to check the temperature as we go. Alright, so I just took the Arctic hat off. My head was really cold, so I'm going to go ahead, just shoot my bare head without the hat on. It says 91.5. That's crazy, that taking the hat off just within like 2 minutes, it makes that big of a difference. So now I'm actually going to just wear a regular black hat. It is sort of mesh, so it is breathable, just my True Fusion hat. So I'm actually even going to wet this a little bit, put it on, we'll hike back to the car, and then we'll do the temperature one more time just to see if there really is that big of a difference between the two, or if they keep you just as cool whether you do the Arctic hat or just wet a regular hat. So I'm a little curious. I was scared that when I put on this Arctic hat it was just going to drip all over me. It did drip a little bit on my forehead. My hair feels, a little wet. It feels cold, but it's obviously going to be wet once I put this hat on. So we're going to hike back to the car and we'll see how it does. So we made our way over to the water, so I just want to shoot the gun at the water and see what that temperature registers at. 64.5. Remember, we got one reading on my head with the hat that was in the 50s. So that means my head was even cooler than this river water. That's nuts. She's testing the temperature of the horse poop. Let's keep hiking, little nugget. So now we're just walking back to the car and we have our regular hats on. She just has a white ball cap, not wet. I have my black hat on and I did wet mine. Both are fairly light material and pretty breathable. Mine is kind of mesh and hers is just a normal hat, but still pretty breathable. Obviously we don't have the sun protection on the back of our necks that I had with the wide billed hat, but we're going to see what the temperature is on our heads when we get back to the car. Okay, so we made it back to the car. I'm wearing my hat that I wet with water. It's black, it's a little mesh, a little breathable. She's got her white hat on. We did not wet hers. Mine already feels dry. It's a little wet still in the back, but my hat's pretty dry. Shoot my head. 114 with this hat on. Now let's shoot her head. 93.9. So her head is a little bit cooler being in the white hat versus my black hat, but both of us were definitely cooler with the Arctic hat on. Now I'm just curious, excuse my hat hair here for a minute. I want to see what the temperature is without the hat. Sun's in my eyes, let's see. 95.9. So I would have been better walking back to the car without this hat on versus wearing it like I did. That's 20 degrees cooler just without this hat on, and I was 20 degrees or cooler with the Arctic hat on, so that's awesome. And just want to shoot the pavement here one more time. The pavement reads 126.6. So the Arctic hat definitely works. Is it something that I would wear? Probably not. They could maybe work on the overall style of the hat a little bit. I was definitely not a fan of the wide brimmed hat. If I was going to wear one, I would wear the ball cap. Like I said, maybe I would do the wide brim if I was backpacking, so it was a long trip. But other than that, I don't see myself wearing that hat. It really got in the way going through all those trees and stuff. I was bending it, folding it, lifting it up. I just couldn't really see. It was very limiting visually. So not a big fan of the wide brimmed hat, but it did work, so that's a plus. So now let's head back home. All right, y'all, so we went out for a quick little hike. We went out maybe about 20 minutes and then came back. On the way out for the hike, we both wore the Arctic hats and we wet both of them before we went out hiking. We hiked for about 20 minutes, like I said, then we checked the temperature. We also checked it before we started and then we checked it 20 minutes in. It was still pretty cool. I was definitely cooler in the wide brimmed hat versus my daughter in just the regular ball cap, but we were both cooler with those hats on. Then on the way back, we just put normal ball caps on. I had a black one. It was a little bit of a mesh material. She just had a white cap on. I wet mine. She didn't wet hers. Wore those back. Huge difference in temperature. We were both significantly cooler with the Arctic hats on. I will say I wasn't a big fan of the wide brimmed hat, although it did produce better results. That was one thing that I wasn't a huge fan of, but I was a huge fan of how much it worked. I mean, I could just touch the top of my head. I could feel how cool it was just standing there. I could tell that it was cooler. And then when we shot that little thermometer at our heads, we were obviously seeing that it was a lot cooler with those hats on. So that was awesome. I would give the Arctic hat 4 out of 5 stars because that was really the only thing that I didn't like was just the design of it and maybe those colors. I understand that maybe they had their reasoning behind it, it blends in whatever, but just to make it a little bit more fashionable, maybe switch up the colors. And like I said, I wasn't a big fan of that wide brimmed hat. Maybe they could switch it up a bit, I'm not sure, but I would give it 4 out of 5 stars for the Arctic hat. If you like this review, you want to see more reviews like this from TV Stuff Reviews, be sure to subscribe to the channel and then click the little bell in the corner so you can make sure that you're notified each time we post a new video. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate y'all so much, and until next time, bye y'all.